Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Um I am posting this video after failing Vlogmas, but new year, new me. Just kidding. Yeah, so I did not finish Vlogmas. I will say though, I finished a lot more than I thought I was going to, so yes, I was going to give up on 2 videos, which were vlogs, and I was going to post 4 videos, but I ran out of time. So what I am thinking for next year, or this year, is that I'm obviously gonna do a lot more planning. I'm gonna do better, and I'm gonna be better. I think this year is just, I have a lot of goals this year, and one of them is to lean into my hobbies, and one of those is gonna be being consistent with YouTube and yeah. So yeah. Anyways, all that to say is this was actually going to be one of my Vlogmas, I keep saying Vlogmas, one of my Bookmas videos, but of course, as we know, I did not finish Bookmas. So today's video is a 25 of 2025, and I was going to do just a TBR video as well, so my initial plan was to post the 4 videos that I wanted to do still after Bookmas, so after Christmas, but of course I also did not have time. um, so this was supposed to be before the start of the year, and I was going to do a January TBR because I got a TBR cart for Christmas. So I was like, I'm going to do a whole TBR cart video, but like I wanted to have that video before. It doesn't make sense. That's not important. The preview is I'm going to have a TBR cart video, and I might not do a TBR for January. I might just read whatever I feel like, or I have 2 books that I started 2 days ago or yesterday. No, I have 2 books that I started yesterday that I delusionally, is that a word? Delulu me thought that I would finish those books today. 2 books, mind you. One like 500 or 600 page fantasy, I believe, and then one romance that's like a little over 300 pages. So that's what I thought, but that's not gonna happen. So a TBR cart video is happening. I do not believe I'll be doing a TBR video for January, but the TBR cart video will be happening, and I'm really excited because I really want one. I need more places to put books. So let us do, did I say what this video is? Anyways, this video is the 25 books that I would like to read in 2025, and you might be thinking to yourself, do you see my eye twitching? It's been twitching all day. You might be thinking to yourself, but Crystal, you did not finish your 24 of 2024. First of all, how do you know? And second of all, you're right. I did not. I did not finish my 24 of 2024. But this kind of goes into my TBR cart. I will be doing TBR prompt jar books. Wait, TBR prompt jar, like TBR, that's how I'm going to do my TBR. And in that TBR jar, instead of only doing prompts, I'm also going to be putting books, and my 25 of 2025 is going to be like in there as well. But I'm also obviously going to be like, because sorry, this isn't important, this isn't, but for my TBR videos, I'm considering only doing about 5 books with the prompt jar. So outside my TBR, I'm going to be picking a bunch of other books, so yeah. And I want to keep myself accountable-ish by doing vlogs for my 25 of 2025 this year. Okay, so I have finalized my list, and I had a lot of books that I was interested in reading, but I think the reason I failed my 24 of 2024 is because there were so many books on there that I did not have and were not available on Kindle Unlimited or readily available on Libby. And so I was like, okay, I still need to buy this book. I'm waiting for this book to, my hold on Libby to go through. It's not on Kindle Unlimited, blah, blah, blah. There were so many things where it just didn't make sense to put them on my TBR for 2024, and yet I did anyways. And I also think I challenged myself a little too hard by putting like sequels on there, or like even with, what did I have? I had Once Upon a Broken Heart on there, and I knew that I wanted to put that on there to force me to read the Caraval trilogy so that I would get to Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I do not think that that is a good idea. I think I should have put Caraval and then been done with that. So, this time, my list, this is my list, my original list. And I was like, okay, I need to narrow this down. So I narrowed it down by books I have physical copies of and books that are on Kindle Unlimited. Anything else got chopped, and then I went back through the list and decided on these 25. So I am going to talk to you about the 25 books that I would like to read in 2025. Now, I have a little bit of an uneven split, obviously, but it wasn't too bad. I have 12 physical books and 13 Kindle Unlimited books that I will be talking about with you today. I will say, we all know, I like to go into my books blind. So, with that in mind, some books I will just be talking about like why I picked it up, what it's about, whatever, and if I don't, that's the standard. If I do, then that's a special. So, let's get into it. Also, Happy New Year. Okay, so let's get into the books. I didn't do any like repeats for my 24 of 2024. However, some of these are repeats from monthly TBRs because that's just how it is. So first I'm going to go through the physical books, the 12 physical books that I have, and then I'll get into the Kindle Unlimited books that I have, or digital ebooks, I guess. The first book that I would like to get to in 2025 is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I've heard so much about this book. I know I am very late to the train. The book is actually, or this trilogy is concluding in 2025, and so my goal is to read Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless before the third book comes out, which, what is it called? Okay, weird. It doesn't show up when you look on Goodreads, like when you click on the trilogy, like the series basically, to see what books are in it. But Fearless comes out in 2025, I think. And so I'm trying to do a little marathon read. Oh. What is that? But for those of you who love Powerless and have read Powerless and Powerful, do you recommend reading them in tandem? Because that is what I was considering doing with Powerless and Powerful. So let me know if you recommend that or not. And I'm leaning more towards the tandem read, but we all know what happened with my first tandem read. However, these books are much shorter than the Throne of Glass tandem read, and so I think I could do it, because also Powerful is a novella, so I feel like it's a little more feasible, a little more possible. But anyways, the first book that I would like to read in 2025, also I'm not going to read this in any order obviously, is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. The next book that I would like to get to in 2025 is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Is this the first one? No, I'm doubting myself. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. Yes, this is the first book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I have Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, and Lost and Lassoed, and Wild and Wrangled comes out in April. And so again, I would like to try and get caught up. I would like to get caught up before the fourth book comes out. These look very like nice short little reads. These are cover buys, however, I've heard a lot of people like these, so I would like to read this. The next book that I would like to read, oh no, is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I have heard so many good things about this book, but I've also heard that this book is not for a lot of people. And so I'm hoping that I am of the people that really love this book, because the premise of it just sounds, I don't want to say like interesting. It sounds sad. It sounds heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie. What is this? I believe she is granted like eternal life. However, every time she like leaves a room, whoever she's like with forgets who she is, and then after like 300 years or something, somebody actually remembers her. And yeah, I believe that's what this is about. I could be completely wrong. I'm excited to get to this. I really want the illustrated version of this book. I don't know, to those who have read keep asking for advice. To those who have read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, would you recommend reading the illustrated version, or did you enjoy just reading the regular version? Let me know, because I think the illustrated version looks gorgeous. Does it add to your reading, or is it just kind of like, I don't know. I love the size of this book too. Okay. Okay, so I actually got this for Christmas, and I bought the second book in the like spin-off series, I guess. So obviously I had to put the first one, because I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last year by putting the first book in the spin-off series on my 24 of 2024. But because I just got this for Christmas, I did not take it out of the box yet. But I would like to read Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco next year. It sounds very interesting. Can you look at these spines? Why does that one say Jimmy? Whatever. Anyways. I can't remember exactly what these books are about, but they focus on like, I think the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy focuses on one god, but then the spin-off focuses on the other gods of this realm. I could be wrong, but I am very excited to get to that, because I've heard many good things, and I have actually wanted to read that and Throne of the Fallen. Just reading the premise to that itself, I was very excited for it, and so if I want to read that, I gotta read this first. The next book that I would like to read next year has already been on one of my TBRs from last year, but I would like to get to Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I really hope that I am one of the people that likes this book. I feel like I've seen more people like it than not, so I shouldn't fear too much, but it's like, I'm getting a little bit intimidated because I don't know if I'm gonna like it, because I know it's very character driven, I think, and I don't know, we'll see. I feel like I'm gonna like it. I feel like I'm gonna like it. I don't know why I'm like a little nervous to get into this, but I love these covers. They're so pretty. So this is getting read this year for sure, because I put this, I think on my February TBR of last year. Feels weird talking about 2024 as if it was last year, because today is the last day of 2024. So anyways, I would like to get to this next year, and I think I want to tab it. I feel like I'm gonna want to tab it. I stopped tabbing books because I wanted to finish them so much faster, not because like it was a competition or anything, but like my brain just wants to finish books faster, because I think if I take too long, I have like the likelihood of me finishing in a reasonable amount of time goes down. the slower it takes me to read, if that makes sense. So I want to get back to tabbing. I just love like looking at my tabs at the end of the after I'm done with the book. Like even the books that I've already tabbed, I just love looking at the tabs. Not even reading the tabs, just the tabs themselves. The next book that I would like to read is Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss. I need to show you the book. I talked about this book in one of my bookmas videos. The cover is gorgeous, and I would like to get to this book. I think it sounds really interesting, and I believe the next book comes out next year as well. I could be wrong, but I think there is. Yeah, this is a series. This is book one. Yeah, don't have much to say about this, but I would like to pretty much go in blind. So stop reading the back, and I want to get to this next year. The next book that I would like to read is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and I don't know how I feel about thrillers, but I have heard actually multiple times that this is a thriller or mystery thriller and a literary fiction. So I'm hoping that I like this a little bit more than your typical like mystery thriller. And I'm really, I don't know. I think I talked about this also in the vlog or the bookmas video where I bought God of the Wood, or oh my god, Blood of Hercules. Madison Kate talks so highly about this book, and just the way she describes it makes me want to read it so bad. And so this is on my list for next year. Also, the cover is very beautiful, but I'm very excited to see what exactly this is about because I want to go in blind. Okay, the next book that I would like to read next year, I keep doing that, is One Dark Window. Okay, I had to make sure. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And I know that this is a gothic fantasy and everyone was raving about it. It was one of the books that I really wanted to read, and I bought this when I went to New York, I believe. So last February. But I'm definitely interested in reading this, and I'm excited to get to this. I don't know. I feel like it's not necessary for me to read books in a certain season, because like when I read, I kind of just like, I'm in that time period, like, or in this setting, you know. I don't have to, whatever. Obviously it adds to the effect of it, but I want to read this already. I don't want to wait until fall, so I'm hoping to get to this much sooner than the fall, but if anything, I'll wait until the fall. The next book that I have is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I honestly have no idea what this book is about. However, I have been very curious to read Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. Why is this so hard to say? I've been very curious about her books, so I would like to get to her books this year, and I would like to start with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, mainly because this is the only physical copy I own of Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I'd like to start here. I don't know if that's a good idea. Let me know if that's a bad idea. I'm doing it anyways, but just let me know what you think. The next book that I would like to get to in 2025 is The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. Yes, look at me. What was this book about? This is one of the books that I bought when I went to Target with Zach, and I believe it has to do with a monster that's like locked up in the library or something, and then they let the monster go. I don't know. Let me double check. Okay, so I guess there's a treaty, and Kyrsa, she breaks the treaty by entering the Holly Library, and then she is locked into a dangerous bargain with a creature unlike any other. I don't remember how I described it when I was trying to convince Zach to pick certain books. I would like to read this. Very curious about it, and I believe the second book also comes out next year. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd like to get to this. The next book that I would like to read next year is Lady of Darkness, yes, by Melissa K. Rorick or Rorich. I'm not 100% sure. However, yes, I did get this book from Raven-Haired Reader. Again, like I said, did I keep that in the video? I don't remember. Like I said, any book she suggests, I will read. But I don't know, I'm just really curious about this. I don't know too much about it. However, just whatever like Rachel said about it, I just got me curious to read it. And I also want to get to her Legacy series because I've also heard good things about that. It's like a dark romantasy, and yes, I'm excited for that. So I would like to read this. I'm very curious to see what it's about. It sounds really good from, oh no, don't look. But yeah, I'm excited to get to this. I'm going in pretty much blind. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it, but because I've watched like Rachel's reviews, however, I feel like she doesn't really have like spoilery reviews, and I have not remembered it, so I'm kind of going in blind, I think. I am. I don't really know what it's about. Okay, the last physical book on my 25 of 2025 TBR is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This was on my fall TBR, and this is one of the ones that I wanted to prioritize, and I didn't get to, but this is one of like my most anticipated reads of 2024. Or that sounds weird, but when I learned about this book, it became like one of my top priorities, and then I was in that book slump for like 10 years, and I just didn't end up reading as many books as I wanted. But I really wanted to get to this in the fall, and I didn't. But this is definitely high up on my list of books I want to read this year. I know I keep changing my tenses from this year, or not even tenses. What is that called? I don't know. I keep saying this year or next year, but I just mean 2025. I'm sorry. The fact that it is Tuesday, December 31st on 2024 is confusing me a little bit. But this is definitely high up on my list for books that I would like to get to in 2025. Okay, now I know some of those are on Kindle Unlimited. Not gonna lie, I have been liking reading ebooks a little bit more than physical books. However, physical books are just always gonna be like, you know? But we've talked about this. Physical books are just not in my budget as much as they were. So I'm relying heavily on Kindle Unlimited for a lot of my reading. And yes, I know I should be reading my physical books, but whatever. I do want to like start a little like side savings, I guess, like $10 a paycheck or something that I can spend on books, because I love reading. I love my books. I love having books. However, I also don't have the space right now because I haven't gotten my bookshelves ready, which is another scrapped bookmas video, but in January I would like to get to that. So once January hits and I finally fix up the bookshelves, we can see if I even have room to buy more books. Anyways, let's get to my Kindle Unlimited books. So the first book that I would like to read, another book that I would like to read is Blood and Steel by Helen Schurer. I don't really know what this book is about, but I have heard so many good things. I believe this is a 4-book series and it's been completed already. I could be wrong. I can't remember. I want to go in blind, as you know, but I would like to finally get to the Legends of Thesmar because it's another series that is like up there in my anticipated reads from last year that I really, really wanted to get to and never did. Another one is A Court This Cruel and Lovely. Just a little aside. That was in my 24 of 2024, and I still have it downloaded on Kindle Unlimited, and I still haven't read it. but hopefully in 2025. Anyways, the next book that I would like to read, I will say a lot of these, especially the fantasy books, I don't know too much about because, again, I like to go into books pretty much blind. So a lot of these I honestly have no idea what they're about. Just putting that out there. The next book that I would like to get to is The Curse of Ophelia by Nicole Platania. I don't know what this book is about, but I have heard good things, and I don't know if this one is completed also, but I think there are like 3 or 4 books right now. Could be wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just talking here. And I am very curious about this series and I want to read it. So, I've heard good things. There's like this group, I forgot what they're called, but it's like a group of indie authors and they all like support each other, and this is one of the books that's always like posted on there as well. So I obviously I follow Pencool, and then they do these like giveaways of like indie author giveaways, and I forget what they're called. They like have, there's like a group, like their fan base calls this group of indie authors something, and I can't remember, but I believe The Curse of Ophelia, Nicole Platania, is part of that group. And so I would like to get to those books and those authors. I have them like screenshot somewhere. I can't remember what the groups. Okay, sorry, that's not important. Anyways, the next book that I would like to read is Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. Now, this is a very long series with a lot of bouncing back and forth between like series. I believe there's like 2 or 3 just in the Zodiac Academy like world. So I'm really like getting myself into something here, but I've heard very good things about Zodiac Academy, and it's getting traditionally published, which I don't know if I'm sad about the covers changing, because I kind of like the colors on each of the books, the Zodiac Academy books, because the published version of the first one is, I believe, just like only gold and black or something. I don't know, that's not part. I'm sorry. But I don't know, I just want to get thrown into like a very, very deep series, fantasy series, and it was between this and, oh my god, what's it called? It was between Zodiac Academy and The Mortal Instruments. And I would just like to prioritize Zodiac Academy for my 25 of 2025, but I am also hoping to get to like the Mortal Instruments as well. So this is just the one that I wanted on my list of 25 as like a priority, because if I get to the Mortal Instruments, cool. If I don't, that might be like on my 26 of 2026. Getting ahead of myself there, but yeah. The next book that I would like to get to is Lunaria by Cara Douglas. This is another indie book that I had seen a lot in this group of indie authors like promoting each other. But it also shows up on my Instagram ads like once or twice a week. It just shows up a lot, and the artwork for it looks very beautiful. So I am hoping to, this is like very high on my list. I'm gonna prioritize reading this book right after I finish Heavenly Bodies and what is the other book that I'm reading right now? I forgot. It's an arc. Beyond the Bell. So I'm hoping after Beyond the Bell and Heavenly Bodies that I get to Lunaria sometime in January. That's the goal. We'll see how that works out. The next book that I would like to read is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is a little bit different from the genres that I've listed so far. Not really, because I also have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The God of the Woods, so I kind of like, most of these are fantasy, as you can see. But I would like to get to Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is a dark romance based on, was it Harry Potter? Peter Pan, where Captain Hook gets the girl or something. I don't know. However, the reason why I want to read this is because I want to get to Hexed by Emily McIntyre. Also, her story recently just made me cry when I saw her Instagram video, and so that was one of the other reasons that I would like to support like this author. Yes, I also want to get Hexed very soon, because is that the wait? It's Hex, right? I think that's the Little Mermaid or Vanessa one. But I want the Barnes and Noble one because it is like mostly purple. So that's not important again. But yeah, I would like to get to Hooked this year. The next book that I would like to read is Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. I don't know too much about this book. Actually, I don't think I know anything at all. But I have heard good things. Most people that I watch that have read it have rated it like pretty highly. So I'm curious to get to this, and yeah. The next book that I would like to get to is the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. I have heard so many good things about this. It is a collection of 5 novellas, I believe, and all of them are on Kindle Unlimited. I do want the book with the apple on it. I think they're changing the cover to something else. I don't know which one I like more, but that's I keep saying this, but that's not important. It is about is she a serial killer? It is a serial killer romance, but her boyfriend, or sorry, the male main character is an FBI agent that's on her case, and I've heard so many good things, but also that premise sounds very fun. I want to know what's gonna happen. Okay, the next book that I would like to read is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and surprisingly, this is the only continuation of a series. Almost all of these are standalone or the first book in a series, and this is the only second book in a series. It's, did I say it? Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, which is the second book in the Part of Your World series, and I was really hoping to read this last year, but it happened like right in my slump. I don't think this was on Kindle Unlimited after I finished Part of Your World, so that is also part of the reason why I didn't read it last year. But I think this was on a TBR at some point. I don't know, but a lot of people have named this as one of their, if not their favorite, one of their favorite romances ever. And so I would love to get to this year because I would also like to read Just for the Summer, and then Say You'll Remember Me comes out this year as well. I don't know if that's part of the series. I don't think it is. I think it's a trilogy, and then Part of Your World, is that what it's called? No, Say You'll Remember, I'm sorry. Say You'll Remember Me is like its own thing. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just really enjoy Part of Your World, and I would love to get to Yours Truly this year. The next book that I would like to read is Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. This is a sports romance, and I believe the series has multiple romances. I know there's football and basketball. I don't know what else there is, but I've heard a lot of good things about this series, and I'm very curious. I don't have a lot of contemporary romance on my 25 of 2025. I haven't had much luck in the romance book genre department, but I'm hoping that in 2025 I read a lot more romances that I enjoy. I'm hoping I know my taste a little bit better to where I just get hit after hit of romances, but we'll see. But yes, I would like to get to Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. The Windy City series just sounds really interesting, so yeah. Next, I would like to read Promises and Pomegranates by Sab R. Miller. One of the reasons, I'm not gonna lie, I would like to get to Vipers and Virtuosos because that is about Orpheus and Eurydice. Promises and Pomegranates is about Hades and Persephone, but I already have Vipers and Virtuosos, and I would like to read Promises and Pomegranates. I love Greek mythology, and I would like to get to more of them, more retellings in the new year. There's also a lot that was on my 24 of 2024. I had the Odyssey, I had Circe on there. I still want to read that. Zach actually let me know that the new movie that Tom Holland and Zendaya are filming with like all those other people is going to be an Odyssey retelling. And I read the Odyssey once when I was in grade school, and I loved it. And I'm also like obsessed with Epic the Musical, and it just concluded in December on Christmas, and I'm hoping the musical or whatever comes to be of this concept album starts moving quick, because I think it's awesome. But with that in mind, I would again like to read more Greek mythology retellings. But because I had the Odyssey and Circe on my last TBR for the year, I didn't want to put it on this one. But those are also on my list. But Promises and Pomegranates, I would love to get to, by Sav R. Miller. Yeah. That's a lot to say. That had nothing to do with this book. The next book that I would like to read is The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. I have just seen a lot of people who have the same taste in books as me really enjoy this book. So I would like to see what this is about. I heard it is sad. I don't like crying. So yeah. The next book that I would like to read is The Prison Healer. Oh my god. The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I don't know too much about this other than it is about a healer that works in a prison. And I don't know, I've just heard really good things. I haven't heard much about it anymore. When I first started reading again at the beginning of the year, and I was looking for a lot of people's recommendations, I had seen this pop up quite a few times. So I would like to get to this at some point in the new year. And last but not least, I have City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. And I have heard that this is an urban fantasy that people like a lot more than Crescent City. So I am very excited. I know I haven't read Crescent City yet. I'm not even done with my read through of Throne of Glass, the series. I still have Kingdom of Ash left, and then I'm going to get to ACOTAR and then Crescent City. However, I have heard so many good things about City of Gods and Monsters, so I might read this urban fantasy before Crescent City. And then will it be like god tier to where I read Crescent City and it is like bleh? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my goodness. You didn't see that because he's right here. But those were the 25 books that I want to get to in 2025. And I think I'm going to do a much better job this year of reading through them. I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands too, because I'm only taking one class next semester. Oh my goodness. But I'm excited for what 2025 will bring, bookish and not bookish. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. I have a lot of videos planned for January. Let's see what actually comes to be. Okay, bye. Say bye. Say bye, Momo. Say bye. Hey boy. He's sleepy. Say bye, Momo. Okay. That didn't work.